parkway in my automobile, trying to get back to my pappy's corn liquor steal. Soon as I crossed that Buncombe County line, something in the air blew my podcast up high. It was a wisdom from the chicks in the city sticks, and I knew right then it was gonna be my fix. No need for white lightning to get my start. It's hey Lord, have mercy and bless your heart. Lordy, yeah, you know what I mean. It's not strange, take it from me. Lordy, come and listen to see weird mountain gals on the party. Up on Weird Mountain, they've been getting their kicks, jamming on the porch just a hit and mash, stirring up the pot, that's what they do best. They can dish it out till there ain't none left. W-Y-R-D, yeah, you know what I mean. No, it's not strange, you can take it from me. W-Y-R-D, so come and listen to see Weird Mountain Gals on the party. Well, I finally found my pappy's corn liquor steal, filled up the jug and had to hit the trail. Gotta get back to the cottage in the Mashville woods, to the Weird Mountain Gals neighborhood. W-Y-R-D, yeah, you know what I mean. It's not strange, you can take it from me. W-Y-R-D, come and listen and see Weird Mountain Gals on the party. It's them Weird Mountain Gals on the party. It's them Weird Mountain Gals on the party.
Do you consider yourself normal? Then this is not the show for you. Please go somewhere else. This is WYRD. If it's getting weird, it's got to be the Weird Mountain Gals show. You're listening to Byron and Alicia, the Weird Mountain Gals.
Jingle bell, jingle all the way. Oh, it's fun and it's to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, I just didn't want to knock or ring bells today. I just thought I'd sing. Hey, Alicia, how are you, girl?
I'm doing good. Do you know what? If you had decided to knock, do you know what I would have heard?
What?
Nothing.
What?
Go ahead and knock right now. Okay, I heard a little something, but there's some setting in here that says take care of all those knocks in the background so that the voice comes through better.
Is that what it is?
That's exact. I figured it out.
Ah,
Yeah.
that is so funny.
And now the question is, where is the setting, and is it on yours or mine? Because I suspect that it's on both of ours. So I'll have to find it.
Ew, it might be.
Yeah, I'll have to find that's project number 629B. So
So many projects.
yeah,
So many, so little time, so many things to do.
well,
I'll tell you what I'm looking forward to though.
was that
Now that I'm home for a few weeks,
we?
I'm going to sort through all my clothes.
Oh,
I am. I'm going to sort through my clothes.
that's
And
a
I'm going
great
to put
one.
away those big piles of clean clothes that have not been put away. And I'm going to get rid of those clothes that, you know, it used to be I would just buy anything that would fit because that, you know, that was
Yeah.
tricky. Well, guess what? Now a lot of stuff fits. So I can get rid of half of this dumb stuff I've got.
So there would
So
be
that'll be
what,
good because, I wear the same clothes all the damn time.
so many people at our age kind of do the same thing. I have a friend who always looks well put together, and she's still in the workforce. And
Uh-huh.
I gave her a compliment one night at supper not too long ago, and she said, "Well, don't you know what I do?" And I said, "No." And she said, "Really?" And she stood up and she took her outer sweater off, and she said, "I just wear this black all the time, and I just put a color on top of it." Well, damn, that's pretty practical. I mean, it looked really comfortable.
That
So,
is very practical. I love that.
yeah, I've got another friend who has a closet full of one shirt, one kind of shirt, same size, same everything, and it's probably 30 or 50 of them. And
Wow.
you know, hey, why not?
Well, you know who does that is Attenborough, the
David,
guy who does all the that does all the documentaries.
yeah,
He
no,
has the same clothes. He wears a blue chambray shirt
mhm.
and jeans. And he has like, I don't know, dozens of those. And he does it because of filming. So he doesn't want to have to think, what was I wearing yesterday? He just wears clean clothes, but it's the same thing he was wearing yesterday.
That's clever
And
because
and
yeah.
they don't have to think about it. So it's just, oh, that's what Attenborough's wearing today. Okay. All right.
So I don't know. That was a pretty good veer off to the left of Happy New Year coming up.
I know, boy, we went a little bit crazy, didn't we?
Yeah,
Ha ha
well,
ha.
it was a wild pre-show, wasn't it?
Golly.
Just
Y'all, that was the pre-show to end all pre-shows.
the subject
Uh,
matter was
and
crazy.
I guess it is the pre-show to end all pre-shows because this is the last show of the year.
It is. And are you glad that the year is over, basically, by the time they're listening to this?
You know how it is on Facebook where they give you your memories?
Yeah.
And I've been looking back over the memories and going, every year for like the past 4 years, everybody has been saying, well, thank God this year is over. Boy, next year is going to be so much better. But somehow this year, nobody is saying that. Nobody is saying, oh, thank good. Listen, do you hear it? That is what I think about 2023. It is cuckoo, cuckoo, cuckoo.
Well, yeah, we're pretty off track on a lot of things this past year. So yeah, I
It's
agree
been
with you.
hard.
We're seeing the ugly side of a few people now, and we know we're ramping up into dangerous kind of political territory for the country. And so yeah, it's been kind of a tense year, if anything else. It's been one of those years.
It has, and it's been a year when we had to be turning right, left, forward, back. We had to keep our eye on the ball, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't like to use that. I don't like to use sports metaphors, but we had to keep out a weather eye.
And that
How's
was a
that?
that was a sports metaphor.
Keep your eye on the ball? I assume so, unless you're talking about a cheese ball. I ain't talking about that. I ain't talking about country matters. But if you had to do it, wouldn't that be plural?
Well, it depends on the person, I guess. But yeah, actually it would be. Yeah.
Oh no. Are we going to start that again?
So can I tell you something I did? I'll have to cut it out. But this is Craig, okay? He would have done this, and I thought about it
Oh
the whole time.
no.
I got one of those. No, no, never mind. You know what? I'm not even going to go there. I'm not. Never mind. I'll cut that whole thing out. So this past year, we I was kind of going through Facebook myself and looking, and it's like, yeah, I've closed some things out this year, and I re-met some people from my childhood this year. That felt really interesting and good. And then that happened again today, and that felt interesting and good. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's
I mean that I think that's been the thing about 2023 is been really high highs and
Mhm.
really low lows.
Yep.
And it feels like there's not been a whole lot in between.
Mm-mm.
It's either been, oh, hooray, that is so wonderful, or oh my God, that is so terrible.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, let me ask you a question. So I know every year we pretty much talk about what the Appalachian traditions are regarding the holiday, and we talk about the traditional meal, which is going to have pork and greens and some cornbread and ham or something like that. So wait,
Yeah.
pork is ham, isn't it? And
Well, ham is pork. Yes.
yeah, ham is pork. Okay, is there a T-shirt in that? But
That ham is pork.
yes, yes. Well, soy green is people.
It is people.
It is people. Is there is there a tradition that you would recommend for folks today in this modern world that maybe they could do to close out the year and put themselves in the correct frame of mind for the year coming on?
Well, I mean, I would say what I often say to people, which is if there is stuff you feel ashamed about or guilty about, then you need to drop that right now and not take it into the new year with you, because chances are you made an honest mistake and you felt bad about whatever you said or did that hurt somebody's feelings. And that, if that is in fact the case, then call them up or contact them and say, if you're feeling bad about that thing that I said, and I'm feeling bad about that thing that I'm said, and I just want to say I'm sorry, and just be done with it. Be done with it. However, if you are feeling bad about something you did because you set boundaries and people are trying to make you feel guilty about it, don't drop that. Keep them boundaries higher. Make them higher. Build a wall higher.
Yeah, yeah. Be thankful that you had clear vision. That's the
Yes.
thing.
Yes.
I'm a fan of learning the truth, even if it's not what I want to hear or see or know. I'm a fan of that because I don't want to go into situations over and over again and get the short end of the stick, so to speak.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I want to have my eyes open, even if what I'm seeing is not what I want to see.
Every time, every time.
Yeah. So to go into the new year light and free as you can, with an open heart and an open mind and curiosity, and think about it being an adventure. And you're getting a sampler of my sermon at the UU's on Sunday, which is called well, y'all are hearing it. I've already done the sermon. It's called 2024 Merry and Bright.
Yeah,
And now we're going to talk about all the things that we can do to deal with stress and fear and all that kind of stuff, because it's going to be, I mean, as I said, I think on this show last week, if we had peace on earth tomorrow
yeah.
and prosperity, and there were no hungry children going to bed with their bellies growling next year, we still have an election. And that is just, it is the worst of how Americans behave.
That's far.
It's like we take that year off to just be gobshites the whole time.
What was that word again?
Gobshite.
That's what I thought.
I think you understand what that means.
I do actually. What I don't understand is how would I spell that?
GOBSHITE. It's very Irish, very Irish. Yeah. Oh yeah.
How much of the Celtic language do you understand?
A little.
It's complicated,
I
isn't it?
mean, my thing is I've been taking Gaelic, Irish Gaelic, and the dialect I'm learning is from Ulster, from Northern Ireland. And so it's a different kind of dialect. So sometimes I don't understand stuff from the Republic, from more traditional Irish Gaelic, but I understand some of it. And if I studied more, I'd be better. It's kind of like playing the fiddle. If I did it more, I'd be better.
Isn't it? Is it hard for you to, because you're learning Italian as well, so you're doing both at the same time?
Well, a little bit. I haven't done much of Italian recently. I'm gonna get back to it in the new year
Are you?
because
Okay.
my German's going real well.
Okay. Well, That's interesting.
In Deutsch is sehr gut.
Yeah, I know. I don't know any German whatsoever. None. And that's
And yet your
interesting.
family is German.
My great grandparents came over on the boat from Germany.
Wow.
Yeah, so on my mom's side. So yep, I got the blue eyes of the Germans.
Yeah, and the beautiful skin too. Germans have beautiful skin.
Do they? Well, mine is pink and white, so
Pink and
like
white.
yeah, like the rest of. I look like I live in a cave, I guess. But I was reading an article the other day about the the growing number of people in the United States that have trouble keeping vitamin D in their system. So there are a lot of people, and I don't know if you have ever looked at your vitamin D level or not.
Oh no, my vitamin D level is constantly low. I
Okay.
take triple the amount of vitamin D that it says on the little jar,
Mhm. Well,
and that keeps me on the very edge. But yeah, I mean, because not only do we not go out in the sun enough, but when we do go out, we are covered in sunscreen. We've got on a hat, long sleeves, and all that. So yeah, we don't get much vitamin D.
well, our bodies assimilate vitamin D differently sometimes. When that kind of signals that you might have some ancestry from the northern climes.
Yeah, you reckon? Look at that face.
You're right, I guess. So anyway, vitamin D in the new year. Take your vitamin D, folks.
Take your vitamin D.
I
Wash
can't.
your
It
hands.
makes me nauseated. That's a problem for me.
That's it.
Yeah, vitamin D really gets me sick if I take vitamin D, in a gel capsule.
Uh-huh.
And so it's been a long time since I've been able to really do anything about my vitamin D levels until this last few months. And I started thinking about it and I thought, well, why am I taking it by mouth in a pill when I could get a patch from the compound pharmacy and wear a skin patch and get vitamin D that way?
Oh, that's a good idea. Does it give you more?
Well, we'll find out. We'll find out pretty in a couple of weeks. I'm going to go have just blood work done just to check and see how I'm doing. And I'll bet you my vitamin D is going to look much better.
Oh, good. Well,
Yeah.
maybe that's what I ought to do.
Yeah, it's simple. It's simple, very simple. And I don't know. I'm not advising this. Well, maybe I shouldn't even mention it, but I
You're not a doctor. You're not qualified. However, what do you do?
well, I would think that you could create your own vitamin D patch. I would think. I don't know. The problem with that is you wouldn't be able to be very precise about the amount of vitamin D. I guess. I don't know. But it just the whole patch thing is kind of a lifesaver if you get easily nauseated by things, and your
Yeah,
body
and
can't do it.
I'm very lucky that I mostly have kind of a cast iron stomach. I've always said that about myself anyway. Every once in a while there'll be something that just goes down and then it has to come back up. And that's just the truth.
Yeah.
But mostly I can eat a lot of different kinds of things,
Mhm.
all that stuff. Yep.
You're lucky, 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 lucky. Craig's dad used to say, I'd rather be lucky than good looking. And then he'd say, damn these good looks.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
Me too.
So, well, I think we should be lucky all year, don't you?
I think we should strive for that, to be so lucky that it leaks off of us and flows onto other people.
Yep. 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 And part of that is just noticing how things line up in your life, how
Yeah.
synchronicities happen. And then you start to realize, well, wow, this is great. And you just start I see the magic in my life, don't you?
I do all the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yep. And that's a profound thing. After a while it builds up in you. Anyway,
Like your vitamin D.
yeah. So do you have any big plans for New Year's?
Well, I mean, I got collards yesterday at the store,
Mhm.
and I got them all chopped up last night, and I'll cook those today and then freeze them.
Mhm.
Because I would just leave them like they are, but I think by Monday they would get a little funky.
Okay.
So yes, we're gonna have collards. We're gonna have black-eyed peas, which I thought I had some, but I don't. So I'm gonna have to get a bag of black-eyed peas. I got some ham. I'll make some cornbread.
Mm.
I ain't got no. I didn't buy any fat back, but I did. We did have a ham for Christmas dinner, so I've got all that fat, and I may just fry that up as crisp as I can and let that be crackling.
Yeah. Why not?
And we'll have all that. We'll have some applesauce to go with the pork.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll make some kind of cake. I still got a bunch of that fruit. I need to do more fruit cake. Fruit cake.
Huh. I saw a recipe for something called a Mounds cake,
Ooh.
dark chocolate cake, and the filling was the white kind of coconutty mounds looking stuff. And I thought, I would love to make that, but I would eat the whole damn cake. I would. So I'm not going to. I've been very well behaved this holiday season. I didn't even have fruitcake, and I love fruitcake.
Well, I can't say I've been perfect this holiday season, but I've been pretty damn good.
Well, good. You,
I have had some sugary treats, but not too many.
yeah, yeah. Well, I've had a little within reason, so that's very good for me. Because I got a sweet tooth. I could eat a whole fruit cake if I wanted to.
Oh God, me too. If I didn't want to,
Yeah,
go into a coma of some kind.
yeah. Was it you that told me that about this commercial, and it had Santa going up to he's walking through the street. He goes up to a food truck and he gets some cookies.
Oh
And then
yeah, and it's Staying Live, Staying Live. What's his
yeah,
name?
John Travolta.
Is John Travolta? Yes.
Yes, I was surprised to hear that that was him. I hadn't noticed his face or anything really, except that I thought, well, Santa's looking pretty sharp this year. He,
Ha ha ha
he was pretty
ha.
hip, dude, drinking his milk and getting out on the dance floor and stuff. So,
I love it.
yeah, it's been a kind of wacky Christmas in the music department for me.
Yeah,
Uh,
tell me why.
well, I've listened to a lot of adult, funny Christmas things. There's a channel that I listen to called Christmas in Frisco, which no
Yeah.
no child should ever be allowed to hear that channel, and it streams onto your TV or whatever. And I caught myself listening to that channel more than some of the other Christmas things that I usually listen to. And I can only my conclusion has to be that I was busy and that was upbeat. And because I tend to get too into some of the more symphonic stuff, stop and appreciate it. For next thing you know, 5 minutes has gone by and I've done nothing but just stood there and listened. So must have been busy this year. I guess that's all I can say. What have you listened to?
Um, it's a show actually that we've got on CD
Mhm.
called the Christmas Revels,
Oh,
and it's just funny. It's got a lot of old like early modern music and medieval music, and I love that stuff.
that's cool.
Yeah, it's my
I love
fave.
I like some of the more obscure holiday music. I do. And I like old medieval tunes as well. So I hope this is a year that everybody has the time to find a new music, a new song, or a new artist, or a new,
Oh, I love that.
don't you think that would be fun?
That's a great way to think of it. And
Yeah.
I'm hoping that people this year will find new things to read,
Oh, yeah.
new authors to fall in love with, and new poets to love, all of that. All of that, all of that.
I miss poetry. And it's just not, I grew up reading poetry, and I just, for some reason, always forget it exists. But I used to really love to sit down and read poetry. My first favorite poet as a child, I was young, was Ogden Nash. Do you remember him?
Oh, yes, yes,
He had that strange way of not capitalizing things, and
yes.
that's that. But that was part of it. It made the poetry visual, because of the way that it would be written out. But anyway, I don't know. Maybe I should go revisit him and let him be a new person in my life.
There you go. A new old person.
A new
Well,
old,
that's what I've purposely done this year, because when I turned 17, that was a very important year for me for the rest of my life. And I think that's true for a lot of people. There's something about 17. So this year was the 50th anniversary of me turning 17. So I wanted to revisit some of the things I did then and see, how that impacted my life. So that has been really interesting given what a hard year it's been. But when things got really tough, sometimes I would think, yeah, but remember when you were 17?
hmm.
Remember how tough some of that stuff was.
Well, we
And
were,
phew, this doesn't even compare.
well,
So yeah, it's been an interesting, and I got a few more months before I'm not that age anymore.
yeah.
So we'll see. So we'll see.
17 was one of those years for me too. And
Yeah, I think it was for a lot of people.
I found out later that my classmates, a lot of my classmates, it was a big deal to them too. They would, and it wasn't until Facebook came around that we all started putting two and two together about what happened when when this one left or this one left or whatever. And that's what we found out, was that 17 was the age of rebellion and the age of a lot of things. And
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
so
And
that'll
I
be,
just, and this has been a time when I've reconnected with some people, and I've also disconnected from some people.
which is just as healthy.
Oh my gosh, that has been great.
Mhm.
Great, great.
Yeah, because you get more picky about how you spend your time as you get older. And
Yeah.
if you're wise and lucky, you'll realize the things that you need to just get rid of. It's just baggage at that point.
Yep.
And so get rid of the baggage. You got,
Off you go.
yep, off you
Yeah.
go. So I guess we should maybe close it out by, I just want to thank everybody who listens. It's a huge compliment and quite a surprise to me that you all are still listening and are still involved. And I appreciate the weirdlings and everything they do. And I just appreciate getting to know all of you. You really are a magical crowd, and
And
even
a bunch of weirdos.
and a bunch of weird people too. That's good. That hits both of those check marks there. And I hope everybody, I hope everybody has a good year, more good than bad, more happy than sad.
Well, and I would like for us to remember that we're not alone.
Mm.
Like right now, and I'm not going to call their names because I don't have permission to do that. But there are several of our weirdlings, our good weird mountain friends,
Mhm.
who are going through some real struggles right now. And they are shining as they go. They are doing the very best anybody could ask for in the situations that they are in. And I just want them, I want all of us to know that we're not alone. And me and you might not be able to drive to wherever they are and bring them a big old pot of vegetable soup so they feel better.
Mm.
But that doesn't mean they're alone. That doesn't mean they're by themselves.
Yeah.
And that's important for all of us to remember, because I wish I could tell you 2024 is going to be like sitting in a Barca lounger with your favorite snacks on one hand and your favorite drink on another, and watching your favorite show, and that's how it's going to be.
Mhm.
And of course, I guess we could make it be that way if that's what we chose, couldn't we?
Well, but at that point, we would know that we're just sitting there letting life pass us by. Don't you think?
And now, are we going to talk about Wally?
Go ahead. I want that.
Because that's our thing, isn't it? Because we don't want life to be passing us by. We
Mm.
don't.
No.
We want to be living. We don't want who was it? I think that's a poet that said, "Don't let me die an unlived life."
Oh, I've heard it. I don't know who.
One of our listeners will know, and they'll tell us.
They will. You know why? Because they're the best.
They are the best, and we're so grateful for y'all. And Alicia, I'm so grateful for you tackling all the tech of this, because y'all, if I don't say this enough, you need to know that we get together once a week and we talk and talk and talk and talk, and then
Mhm.
it gets dumped on Alicia to do all the editing and to post it and to find the places it has to go. She does all of that. I don't do anything but sit here on my butt and talk.
Well, thank
And
you.
so I'm very, very grateful
Well, thank
for
you.
your patience with the technology and your ability to just get these words out everywhere.
That's thank you. I appreciate it. And I appreciate that you, no matter where you are in the world, no matter what you're doing, you always make time for this podcast. And so there are a lot of people who want to know as much about your opinion and your thoughts, and they want Byron Ballard. You see, they want to talk to you. They want to interact in any way they can, because they know that you've got something that they want to hear. And it's really, with a schedule like yours, the one thing that they can count on for the most part with you and I is that once a week they're going to get some time with get to hear what's going on, where you're going to be, what's on our minds. And I think that's really cool. It's been consistent.
It's a good thing.
Mhm.
Wyrd Mountain's a good place. Good place to be from.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good place to go to.
Absolutely. Well, and we'll have to do more of that. Although I don't know how we will, because your schedule's got you going this year.
It doesn't. It is way less than it has been.
What? Oh, to me, it sounds busier.
No, 2024. There's a lot less than I've done in years past.
Well, good for you. That's good.
I haven't posted the schedule yet. I put a thing on social media today. If you want me later in the year and you got something really, really, really tempting, I'd love that. But otherwise, I'm scheduled.
Well,
and I gave myself some time to be home and to see people. I mean, you and I haven't seen each other in weeks.
I know. It's crazy.
Your solstice present is hanging on the back of a chair in the dining room.
Yours is right there. I'm
Yep.
looking at it.
Yep.
It's all right. We'll see each other pretty soon. Well, maybe we can sit on the porch a bit, and you never know. We might run into some Mormons again on that porch.
That would be so fun.
Would be.
Not really.
Yeah.
Not really, but I mean, it was all right.
Yeah, I thought it was fine. Anyway, I guess I'll let you go. I feel like we have other stuff to say, but
We'll save it for the new year. There'll be plenty of stuff to bitch about, complain about, all that stuff.
Surprises, I hope, anyway.
Oh, good surprises. Only good ones.
Only good. All right.
All right. Happy New Year, y'all, and happy New Year, Alicia.
Happy New Year to you too.
Eat you some pork tomorrow.
Oh yeah, and all of it. I'm doing all of it.
Me too. All of it. Every damn thing. All right. Love you now. Bye.
Hey, thank you for spending your time with us here at Wyrd Mountain Gals. We sure do appreciate it. I know time is the most important thing we have. So I promise that if you take your time to listen to us, we'll take our time to continue to be weird. Many thanks to Sunslice Records for all the help. We couldn't do it without you, Craig.
Check out our social media for information, community, or a few laughs. WYRD Mountain Gals.
WYRD.